Other initiatives, return gifts. Now, we are not supposed to give anything of tangible value back to a donor. So instead, what we offer are nostalgic gift items of negligible cash value. So, but anyone that makes a donation will receive something in return that will make them feel good about giving. Donor badge is a program that we started. It's basically a virtual gift. It's something that when you make a donation, we send you a badge which you can attach to your Facebook, to your emails. It basically proclaims that you're a donor to the institute. Hopefully, this will result in a viral effect in terms of driving up contributions. The reunion fundraising obviously is one of our major sources of funds. We now have clearly set targets, silver reunions, 5 crores, Pearl, 1 crore, and all the other reunions, roughly 50 lakhs. And we have been successful in driving towards these goals in the last couple of years. TAM Club, which Gautam will talk about a little more later in the program, is in India for the recurring donor who wants to give on a monthly basis. The US has a similar recurring donation scheme. And finally, we have started a pledge program. And again, we'll hear more about it in today's program. Next. So with all these fundraising initiatives and strategies, how are we doing? Next. In 2011, our fundraising exceeded rupees 10 crores for the first time. I think that's something that we should all be proud of. We are now, in 2012, we have already crossed that 10 crore figure, and I think we are looking good for anywhere from 15 to 20 crores, depending on how quickly the pledged contributions materialize. So we have been quite successful in driving our fundraising initiatives. We do project-based fundraising, as well as now we are increasingly asking our alumni to contribute to an endowment or a corpus, which will give the institute more of a discretionary use of these funds. And I think we have again built up the trust over the years that alumni are now willing to trust us with their money. You know, previously they wanted to micromanage everything. They wanted to know where each penny went. Now I feel and I sense that the alumni are willing to take a chance and say that here is our funds, let the institute do what they want with it. Next. These are just some graphical representations of how we are doing. And I think that you can see that the curve is certainly a very healthy one. And if we can maintain that slope, I think that alumni fundraising will be something that's on a scale with major universities, if not on a global scale, certainly on a national scale. We have been driving up not only the total amount donated, but also the number of donors. Next. So if you look at the number of donors, it is an interesting fact that out of our alumni base of close to 40,000, only 900 people have ever donated to IIT Madras, even the smallest amount, which is 100 rupees or 200 rupees. Now, that is something we need to address. Certainly, our overall fundraising is healthy, but I would like to get more of our alumni involved in giving back to the institute. So again, we are trying to introduce various initiatives to make that happen, and we'll talk about that a little more later in the program. The batches have certainly contributed to a great extent. These have been featured both in the first video as well as this video. A large number of major projects on campus have been driven by alumni, and I think that's something that we can certainly point to with pride as an alumni community. Next. These are some of our top donors in 2011. Some of the usual suspects are there. Chris Gopalakrishnan and Deshpande have always given, but the encouraging thing is several new donors are now stepping up and making sizable contributions. And you can see the list here. So there are many opportunities for partnering with IIT Madras, both in a financial sense as well as in a non-financial sense. Next. So in terms of non-monetary contributions, again, as Professor Bhaskar mentioned in his message, there are great opportunities for alumni to facilitate collaborations in academia, in the corporate world, as well as in the entrepreneurial sphere. Next. There are many ways in which you can support the student community. Mentoring. We have an online mentoring program that's administered by the Alumni Association. I certainly invite all alumni to sign up and hook up with student mentees, and this relationship over the years can really deepen into something very fruitful. We are always looking for alumni who want to come on campus and interact with our students and faculty. You can give lectures, you can become part-time faculty. There are many, many ways in which you can give back of your time and your expertise, and please come to us. We'll be happy to facilitate all such interactions. In fact, we would like to offer campus immersion opportunities. Instead of just coming on campus, giving a lecture and leaving, stay here for a few days or even a few weeks. We will give you space, and you can actually work with our students and faculty on interdisciplinary projects if that interests you. So these campus immersion opportunities, I think if more alumni can take advantage of, we already have 2 or 3 alumni who are on campus doing exactly that, but we would like to encourage more of you to do that. Summer internships and placement are a major challenge for our students increasingly. One reason being the 50% increase in our student strength in the last 3 years. Anything you can do in terms of helping in those 2 contexts, particularly the summer internship programs as well as placement, I think would be welcomed by the student community. Other ways in which non-monetary contributions can be made by alumni is in strengthening our research and teaching. For example, departments are, I think, well served by advisory committees, and we would like to invite alumni to take an active role in participating in these advisory committees. If you're still engaged with the technical area in which you graduated from IIT Madras, this is a wonderful way to give back to the institute. And I mentioned the faculty, adjunct faculty and visiting faculty appointments earlier. Next. Monetary contributions are always welcome. What we have been very good at, I think this started when Satya was handling OAA, and we have continued it. We are very good at deploying the funds. Our deployment rate is virtually 100%. When the money is given for a specific purpose, we make sure that the money is allotted and utilized as quickly as possible. So you can essentially direct the money where you want it to go. And that's the advantage of alumni funding versus government funding. Government funds, even though they're very generous, must be very uniformly and equitably distributed to all labs, all departments, and so on. Whereas alumni funds, you can tell us what you want to use the funds for, and we'll make sure that that happens. So, giving is a habit-forming thing. The more you give, the more you want to give. So we certainly want to encourage you to develop the habit of giving back, again, both in a monetary as well as non-monetary sense. We all have systems in place now to make sure that the receipt and utilization of funds are done properly, and that tracking and reporting mechanisms are in place to give you a feeling of confidence that we know what we are doing with your money. But the most important thing is, for alumni, what I really want to emphasize is come back to the campus as often as possible. Nothing really substitutes for that, as Sona was mentioning in the video. When you're here, when we get alumni on campus, good things happen. And I like to see more and more of that. So while these occasions are great for bringing groups of alumni together, I do want all alumni to consider visiting the campus when you're in town. We'll be happy to host you, and any interaction that you want to have with any centers or departments or students, we'll be happy to arrange through the Office of Alumni Affairs. So I think I will stop at that point. Certainly, if you're interested in monetary contributions, we'll be happy to talk to you. We have projects of various magnitudes ranging from crores of rupees to thousands of rupees. We have projects that can be customized to your interests and to your funding capabilities. So again, if you're interested in that, do approach us as well. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Vivek Jha, who is the Vice President of the IIT Madras Alumni Association. Unfortunately, I think many of the executive committee members, the President, Secretary, Treasurer, were not in town today, so they're not able to participate, but I'm very happy that Vivek has stepped in to fill the breach.